Chandamama Mahabharat, Part 5. The birth of Duryodhan and others. Then Satyavati, feeling shy, told how she gave birth to Krishnadvaipana to sage Parshara during the days she used to row the boat, and said, "He is my son, a great ascetic. He divided the Vedas. Let us sustain the Bharat lineage through him." Bhishma agreed to this. As soon as Satyavati thought of him, Vyasa, known as Krishnadvaipayan, arrived and asked, "Mother, why did you think of me?" Satyavati told him her intention. Vyasa agreed. Afterwards, Satyavati told Ambika to deck herself and lie down that night, saying her husband's brother would come to her, and asked her to bear a child through him to sustain the lineage. Ambika thought it must be Bhishma. But that night, Vyasa entered her room. Seeing Vyasa's beard, dark form, and red eyes, Ambika was terrified and closed her eyes tightly. She had never seen Vyasa before. Because she closed her eyes, Dhritarashtra, who was born to her, was born blind. Seeing this, Satyavati became distressed and thought of Vyasa again. This time she said to Ambalika, "A sage will come to you tonight. Bear an excellent son through him and sustain the lineage." That night, seeing Vyasa's appearance, Ambalika did not close her eyes but turned pale. As a result, Pandu was born with a pale body. Satyavati was not satisfied. She cautioned Ambika once more, saying, "At least this time, bear a son worthy of the sage." But the very thought of Vyasa made her tremble, so that night she sent her maidservant in her place. Vidura was born to that maidservant through Vyasa. As Dhritarashtra, Pandu, and Vidura grew up, Bhishma took up the burden of the kingdom and governed it so that it prospered and the people lived in peace and happiness. Bhishma taught them the arts appropriate for warriors, the Vedas and their branches, and ethics. Among them, Dhritarashtra was immensely strong, Pandu was proficient in archery, and Vidura followed righteousness. In the course of time, Bhishma had to perform the coronation for one of the three. Dhritarashtra was blind from birth, and Vidura was the son of a maidservant. Therefore, instead of those two, he crowned Pandu. The boys reached the age suitable for marriage. Bhishma wondered where suitable maidens were. Subala, the king of Gandhar, had a daughter named Gandhari. It became known that she had obtained a boon from Shiva to have 100 sons. Bhishma sent some Brahmans to Subala and asked him to give Gandhari in marriage to Dhritarashtra. Even knowing that Dhritarashtra was blind, Subala agreed, considering his lineage great. As soon as she learned that her future husband was blind, Gandhari tied a blindfold over her eyes, resolving to remain blind herself. Her brother Shakuni brought her to Hastinapura and performed the wedding. After receiving the honors given by Bhishma, Shakuni left Gandhari in Hastinapura and returned to his country. Now King Pandu remained to be married. Bhishma came to know about a Yadava maiden named Kunti. One among the prominent Yadavas, Shura, was the father of Vasudev. He had a daughter named Pritha. Since Kuntibhoja, the son of Shura's paternal aunt, had no children, he raised this Pritha as his own daughter. Pritha used to offer hospitality to all who came to Kuntibhoja's house. Once, Durvasa came, and being pleased with her service, taught her a mantra and said, "Child, if you repeat and chant this mantra, whichever god you desire will come and grant you a great son." To test whether the sage's words were true, one day Kunti chanted the mantra while keeping the sun in her mind. Immediately, the sun appeared before her. She did not ask for a son, yet she became pregnant by the Sunday. In due time, a son with armor and earrings was born to her. Not knowing what to do, she placed him in a box, tied it to a raft, and set it afloat in the river. It was found by a charioteer. Seeing a child like a small son in the box, he gave the boy to his wife Radha. She raised him. He was Karna. After this, Kuntibhoja arranged a Swayamvara for his daughter. Pandu also went there. Kunti placed the wedding garland around Pandu's neck. Born in the Kuru lineage, he appeared handsome and majestic. Kuntibhoja conducted their wedding grandly and sent them to Hastinapura with countless gifts. A special inner palace was arranged for Kunti. There, Kunti and Pandu began to enjoy all comforts. Bhishma decided to marry Pandu to another wife as well. Shalya, the king of Madra, had a sister. Bhishma set out for his capital with a large entourage. Shalya came forward to receive him, welcomed him, and asked the purpose of his visit. Bhishma said, "Give your sister Madri in marriage to our king Pandu." Shalya replied, "What more could I desire? However, it is our family custom to receive a bride price. Give the bride price, take my sister, and marry her to your king." Since family customs must be followed, Bhishma gave the king of Madra plenty of gold, gem-studded ornaments, clothes, and vehicles, brought Madri to Hastinapura, and married her to King Pandu at an auspicious time. King Pandu lived happily with both his wives. After spending a month happily with his wives, King Pandu desired to conquer the world. He gathered the fourfold army, had the march drums sounded, bowed to Bhishma and others, as well as the Brahmins, and first conquered the Dasharna countries. Then he invaded Magad and killed its king. After conquering countries like Magad, Kashi, and Pundra, and receiving countless gifts and tributes, King Pandu returned to Hastinapura. Elders like Bhishma came forward and honored him greatly. King Pandu distributed the wealth he had brought from his conquests to Bhishma, Satyavati, Vidura, and their mothers. Everyone was pleased. With that wealth, Dhritarashtra performed many Ashwamedha sacrifices. Afterward, King Pandu took both his wives and went to the forests in the Himalayan region for recreation and stayed there for a long time. Dhritarashtra kept sending him the necessary items. In Hastinapura, Bhishma married Vidura to the daughter of a king named Devaka. One day, Vyasa came very hungry to Dhritarashtra's house. Gandhari served him with due honors and pleased him. Vyasa asked her to seek a boon. Gandhari asked for 100 sons who would not be inferior to her husband. After some time, she became pregnant and carried the child for 2 years. Meanwhile, news arrived that Yudhishthir was born to Kunti. Distressed that she had still not given birth despite Vyasa's boon, Gandhari struck her womb forcefully without consulting her husband. As a result, she had a miscarriage. She thought of discarding the pieces of that embryo. Vyasa, who came there, learned of this. "What is this you are doing?" he asked. Gandhari, weeping, said, "You granted me a boon of 100 sons. I have been pregnant for 2 years and still have not given birth. Meanwhile, I heard that Kunti, the wife of King Pandu, has given birth to a fine son. In my grief, I struck my womb and caused a miscarriage. Whatever may be of your boon, this womb has broken into pieces. My boon will not go in vain," said Vyasa. He had the pieces of flesh washed in cold water and placed each piece in a pot of ghee. Gandhari then said, "These 100 pieces will become 100 children. Along with them, grant me a daughter as well. Through grandsons from a daughter, one attains merit." Vyasa blessed her that her wish would be fulfilled. Dividing the womb into 101 pieces and placing them in pots, Vyasa departed. After 1 year, the first child was born from one pot. As soon as he was born, many inauspicious omens appeared. Seeing them, Dhritarashtra was frightened and called Bhishma, Vidura, the ministers, and the priests. He asked, "Yudhishthir has already been born in our lineage. Does this child have the right to the kingdom?" They replied, "Great king, inauspicious omens appeared at his birth. He will destroy the lineage. Abandon him. What does it matter if one among 100 sons is lost?" Vidura also said the same. But out of fatherly love, Dhritarashtra did not listen. Thus, Duryodhan was born first. After him, sons like Dushasana and Dusaha were born, and also a daughter named Dushala. During the time Gandhari was pregnant, Dhritarashtra took a Vaishya woman to serve him. In that same year, she bore him a son named Yuyutsu. Dhritarashtra had all his sons taught royal disciplines and arranged grand marriages for them with suitable maidens. Chandamama Mahabharat, Part 5 is complete. For now, Swasti.